Let's start by surveying the landscape for 2028. This cycle, both major parties are fielding a crowded bench, while independents signal a new era of disruption. With figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, JD Vance, and Mark Cuban making headlines, what structural dynamics are shaping the field?
Absolutely. The Democratic field is fractured post-Harris, split between progressives like AOC and centrists such as Shapiro and Whitmer, reflecting a larger identity crisis. Meanwhile, Republicans are rallying behind Vance's Trumpism too, but face demographic headwinds. Independents like Cuban and Gabbard embody the electorate's disillusionment, leveraging personal brands to bypass party machinery.
That raises the question, how did we reach this fragmented multi-lane scenario? Is it just voter fatigue, or have systemic forces accelerated outsider momentum?
It's a convergence. Voter disillusionment post-2024, when Trump defeated Harris, intensified institutional distrust. The subsequent rise of digital-first campaigns and meme politics has democratized influence. This isn't just about fatigue, it's about a digital native electorate demanding authenticity and rapid narrative shifts, hence the viability of independents and media-savvy candidates.
So, the 2028 lineup is both a symptom and a catalyst of broader political, cultural, and technological transitions.
Exactly. The field isn't just crowded, it's multidimensional, reflecting changes in campaign tactics, coalition building, and even how candidates define their public personas.
Let's zoom in on the Democratic race. We see a tug-of-war between progressive firebrands like AOC and coalition builders like Shapiro and Whitmer. How do these factions differ in strategy and potential appeal?
Progressives are doubling down on climate justice, economic equity, and meme-driven digital engagement. AOC, for example, blends social media prowess with policy specificity, think Green New Deal. 2. While Westmore leverages representation and military service to galvanize youth and communities of color. In contrast, centrists like Shapiro and Whitmer focus on pragmatic governance, labor alliances, and swing state viability, often prioritizing middle-class tax relief and infrastructure.
But internal divisions risk diluting the party's message. After the Harris defeat, is there evidence the party can unify and reclaim lost ground?
It's a work in progress. According to a 2027 Pew survey, 68% of Democratic voters want a fresh narrative, but only 45% trust the party to deliver it. The Most framework highlights ongoing efforts, podcast tours, coalition building, meme warfare, but the real test is whether these tactics translate to youth mobilization and swing state wins.
Could you compare this to a business with multiple product lines, each appealing to a different segment but risking overall brand dilution?
Exactly. The Democrats' challenge is akin to a conglomerate balancing legacy products with disruptive startups. Progressive insurgents energize the base, while centrists reassure risk-averse consumers. The question is whether they can integrate these models before the competition capitalizes on fragmentation.
Turning to the GOP, we see Vance as the frontrunner, blending Trumpist populism with technocratic polish. Yet the field includes establishment figures like Haley and Rubio, as well as culture warriors like DeSantis and Sanders. How do these different Republican strategies coexist?
Vance embodies MAGA too, updating Trump's populism with a Rust Belt revivalism and tech populist rhetoric. Haley and Rubio represent the institutional wing foreign policy gravitas, Latino outreach, while DeSantis and Sanders double down on culture war narratives and red state legislation. It's a blend of regulatory retrenchment, economic nationalism, and identity politics, designed to consolidate the base while expanding appeal to suburban and Latino voters.
Does this diversity of approach risk alienating key constituencies, especially given the party's aging demographic profile?
There's a real tension. A 2026 Gallup poll highlights that while 59% of GOP voters prioritize cultural issues, only 38% support entitlement reform, a wedge for moderates like Rubio. Meanwhile, the party's ability to expand beyond its core depends on whether it can manage these internal contradictions without fracturing.
Is the GOP strategy analogous to a legacy tech firm balancing innovation with maintaining a loyal user base, but always at risk of disruption?
That's a fitting analogy. Their success hinges on updating their operating system, channeling nostalgia, while adopting enough innovation to stave off both internal and external challengers, including viral independent campaigns.
Let's discuss the wild cards independents, like Mark Cuban, Stephen A. Smith, and Tulsi Gabbard. How are these candidates leveraging digital culture and voter disillusionment to disrupt the traditional two-party system?
Their approach is to turn personal brand into political capital. Cuban, for instance, fuses platform capitalism with micro-targeted policy proposals, think crypto regulation and AI governance, while Stephen A. Smith redefines campaign monetization through influencer collabs and podcast soundbites. Gabbard, meanwhile, capitalizes on ideological ambiguity, attracting voters weary of binary politics.
Given the steep hurdles, ballot access, lack of infrastructure, potential legal challenges, what are the realistic prospects for independents in 2028?
Their path is narrow but not impossible. According to a 2027 Brookings report, 41% of voters express openness to a third-party run if the candidate is perceived as authentic and digitally fluent. However, legal and structural barriers, like restrictive ballot access laws, mean most independents succeed more as cultural disruptors than as electoral threats.
Could you envision a scenario where viral traction amplifies an outsider into a kingmaker role, even if they don't win outright?
Definitely. In a fragmented race, even 5-8% of the vote could tip swing states or force policy concessions. Think of it as the political equivalent of a disruptive startup forcing legacy players to adapt, if only to avoid losing market share to a viral insurgent.